How are you? I hope you all are well. This is a new day, one new beginning. Today in this video, I am going to discuss the work of a prophet. You might be surprised to know what sir is going to tell about the prophet. Yes, the scientist whose work I am going to discuss is not less than a prophet. How? You will come to the work, what he has done. So I am not taking much time to introduce his name. His name is none other than the Russian scientist Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. Some books it is written as Mendeleev. So both are accepted. So a Russian famous scientist Dmitry gave an important law to classify the elements. Thus, we prepared the first periodic table. First periodic table was prepared by Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. Shortly we say Mendeleev. Before that, we have studied the attempts made by different scientists including Dauvergne and Newlands. But the first periodic table successfully prepared by Dmitry Mendeleev. Before studying about his periodic table, first we should know what I mean by periodic table. Periodic table means a chart of elements. You can say a chart of elements in which elements are arranged in such a manner in which elements are arranged in such a manner. However, elements having similar properties fall in the same group, means same vertical column. Why it is called a table? Because here the elements are mentioned in the tabular form. We say periodic table because in this table elements are arranged in such a manner, however their properties are repeated regular intervals. That means periodically. We say it is the periodicity. That's why I mentioned the chart of elements in which elements are arranged in such a manner, however elements having similar properties fall in the same group. That means their properties repeated periodically. That is why it is said to be periodic table, because the elements are written in the tabular form. So, in this periodic table, the elements are written in some horizontal rows called periods and some vertical columns, they are called groups. These are the horizontal rows called the periods, these are the vertical columns called the groups. So when Mendeleev arranged the elements, he concentrated on their properties. Properties in the sense both physical and chemical. He concentrated on relationship between the atomic masses and their properties, both physical and chemical properties. He considered the hydrides and oxides formed by different elements. He considered hydrides and oxides formed by different elements. Different elements as the properties of classification. He considered the hydrides and oxides formed by different elements as the basis of a classification of elements. On basis of which observation he proposed a law. We study it by the name of Mendelis Periodic Law. So what is that Mendelis Periodic Law? Writing thereafter I will explain it. Mendelis Periodic Law. The properties of elements. The properties means both physical and chemical. The properties of elements. Properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. Its meaning is that, I can say another way, if the elements are arranged according to increasing order of their atomic masses, lithium, beryllium, 6.9, 9.0, 10.8, if the elements are written according to the increasing order of their atomic masses, their properties are repeated after regular intervals. So repetition of the properties after regular intervals is called periodicity. So repetition of properties after regular intervals is called periodicity. That means in this periodic table the properties are repeated periodically after regular intervals. That's why the properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. So in his periodic table, Mendeleev arranged the 63 elements which was available during the preparation of during the classification of elements. He arranged in some horizontal rows as well as some vertical columns. So there are 7 horizontal rows called the periods. There are 8 vertical columns that are called the groups. So at the top of the group he mentioned the hydrides, oxides and hydrides. So he introduced the oxide as with the help of R. Here R stands for elements. For example, you can see that RO2, in place of RO2, it may be CO2, it may be SO2, R2O, RO, RO2, R2O5, like that. On the top of the group, he has mentioned the oxides along with the hydrides. So, suppose RH, RH2, RH3, RH4, RH4. That means that is the maybe CH4. So, top of the group, he mentioned the oxide and hydrides. At the same time, he divided each group into subgroups by the name of A and B. So, now I am going to discuss about the salient features of Mendelev's periodic table. Salient features of Mendelev's periodic table. What is that? First point. There are 7 horizontal rows. 7 horizontal rows called periods. 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next one, 8 vertical columns called groups. Each group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Roman letter I have mentioned here. 8 vertical columns are called the group. Each group divided into subgroups A and B. The elements present in A, they are called normal or transition elements. Those are present in the right side of the group, means subgroup B. They are this is normal or representative. Normal or representative elements. Present in the side B, they are the transition elements. Except that. So, third point. Third point. 3 sets of 3 elements. See here. 3 sets of 3 elements are present in group 8. Observe here. Ferric, cobalt, nickel, 3 elements in one set. Ruthenium, rhodium, lead, 3 elements in another set. Cesium, iridium, platinum. This is one more set, contains 3 elements. All are present in the 8th group and are present in 4th, 5th and 6th periods. Okay, so except that Mendeleev left some group. 4th point. Left some space, or you can say group. Here elements are not there. Here element is not there. He left some place. He predicted that one day these elements will be discovered. Practically, during his lifetime, these elements also are discovered. Not only he predicted the elements, he also predicted the properties of the upcoming elements and it was proved that he is absolutely correct. Okay, children. So this is about the description of Mendelis periodic table. So in my next video, I shall explain about the Mendelev's periodic tables, merits as well as demerits. In that video, I shall explain about details what I mentioned on this periodic table. Until then, bye. Thank you.